All right, you're thinking about using comprehensible input, but you're scared about gaining weight. I just got done with a workout and you actually discovered the perfect video to help you learn a little bit about comprehensible input and what could possibly happen if things go absolutely wrong like it did for me. I wanna share a little bit by my own experience and some things I would have done a little bit differently in order to prevent weight gain while using this amazing method to learn the language I'm learning is the Thai language. So starting off, you didn't know anything about this channel. You just stumbled upon my channel. Congratulations. I never actually thought anybody would really watch these videos, but now we're here with over 1,000 subscribers. And one of my videos got some traction where one of the number one things that people noticed after I'd done over a year of comprehensible input was I've gained some weight, y'all. So I guess I'll put the before picture and after, whatever. But I gained about 30 pounds in over a year. And I wanna go over why that happened. If you didn't know anything about comprehensible input, it requires you usually to watch videos, and you're using these videos in order to consume content in the language you're learning, right? And you're supposed to watch these videos and learn the language. This is what separates a lot of people right here. When I was learning the Thai language, I was super focused. At first, I started using textbooks like the ASMO book, about the Teach Yourself book, and some other books to get the basics. And then I found this amazing free YouTube channel called Thai Comprehensible Input. I'm gonna link down below, not sponsored. I stumbled upon their videos, and it started off as a casual 30-minute long video where I was like, wow, this actually, this may work. And I had 100% belief in the method, right? So I was watching these videos, and then I was quickly realizing the more time I spent with the Thai Comprehensible Input channel, the better and better my Thai understanding became, way greater than any amount of time I was spent on the textbook and learning these words like in a simple sentence, and I'm going through the same conversations over and over. Just the variety of type of sentences and content on that YouTube channel really accelerated my Thai learning. Yes, it was very difficult, but I just became really obsessed about learning Thai. You know, my wife is Thai, my mother-in-law is here right now. She's from Thailand, but she wasn't here when I first started. Regardless, I became really obsessive about this YouTube channel. The creators, if you go and watch their videos, they tell you about how to use their content that they post for free on that YouTube channel. They recommend about 2 to 3 hours a day. I did not do that. So what went wrong? Number one, I became really obsessed, right? So I was literally spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day trying to knock out these beginner videos as quickly as I could. So the B0, B1, B2, whatever, the beginner videos, got them knocked out. I started my first intermediate playlist, and it was 1,000 videos. And I was like, well, I need to watch, maybe 12 videos a day, trying to get these knocked out as soon as possible, because my Thai was progressing so quickly, the more and more content I watched, that I was like, okay, no matter what happens, I just need to watch these videos. And I spent months, 6+ hours a day watching Thai content on the Comprehensible Input YouTube channel. And I really believe, I know some people will say in the comment section that, yeah, it was my diet. Guys, I weighed 180 pounds for the past 8 years. And the only thing that changed was my comprehensible input learning journey. I didn't really focus on weight. I was just so focused on Thai, I didn't even put it together. My diet was relatively the same. And if you didn't know anything about weight gain, there's basically two things. Energy in, energy out means are you gaining weight or losing weight, right? So how much food you're taking in versus how much energy you're burning means you're gonna gain weight or lose weight. My diet was relatively the same. I know I made a comment like, yeah, the Thai Comprehensible Input made me try a lot of different new foods, but it wasn't like I was eating these foods every single day. And I'm not really a snacker, so my diet was relatively the same. The difference was not the energy in portion, it was the energy out. It drastically changed. Before Thai Comprehensible Input, I was fairly active. I was doing pickleball, going to the beach, working out more, spending more time outside doing yard work, grocery shopping. If you don't think about this, grocery shopping is walking around, grabbing things. I have, I'm about 40 now. I have a daughter, a family here. So I did a lot of things when I became obsessed about Thai comprehensible input because I was getting great results, right? I had the money, the resources, trying to outsource as much of my life as possible, right? So the yard, I got a landscaper. I had somebody come mow the yard. Groceries, I just started having them delivered to my house. Real estate, I'm also a real estate agent. If you want to reach out to me for anything, here's my line account. If you want advice or talk about your Thai learning journey with me, be more than happy. If you're thinking about moving to Thailand and want to sell your house, I can help you refer to an agent, and it supports the channel as well. But yeah, I was able to find real estate agents that help close my deals. So I didn't have to go outside, get dressed, talk with clients. I just got other real estate agents to close those deals for me. I just referred them out, right? I didn't have to do a lot of things. I gave myself 1 whole year to do this. I feel like, you know what? I haven't really focused on Thai. My wife is Thai. I have in-laws who are Thai. They only speak Thai. And I was really enjoying using this method. My daily energy expenditure just collapsed. It literally just collapsed. And there's been studies about this as well. So the makers of the Thai YouTube input channel, if you're using any other method, they probably recommend this as well, 2 to 3 hours a day. And I would have been okay, but I wasn't doing that. I was doing 5 to 6 hours a day, right? Or more. And studies have shown, even if you get the recommended amount of exercise for an adult in the USA, you're still going to gain weight. So the recommended amount of exercise for an adult is about 150 minutes each week. And they did a study, like over 10,000 people who set for more than 6 hours a day, and didn't matter if they did way greater than 150 minutes per week of exercise, they never made up the difference in calories that they had done to their body just by sitting. The difference, if you didn't know anything, just from simply walking, like if I was just walking around my neighborhood, listening to Thai input, whatever, it could be a difference over 100 to 200 calories per hour. Now, if you do the math, if you're doing this for say if you're doing this for like 6 hours a day, that's 100 times 6, so that's 600 calories times 7, that's, 4,200, and every about right around 3,600 calories, you gain 1 pound. That means just by doing this for 1 week, you've gained over a pound of fat onto your body. Now, imagine if you did this for 16 weeks. If you did this even longer, the amount of weight you would gain is going to start adding up. And that's exactly what it did to me, because I love food. Yes, I love food, but I was an eater who was very mobile throughout the day. But that energy part, the diet stayed the same, right? But the energy expenditure just collapsed, where I wasn't burning that many calories. And out of nowhere, I wasn't a person who sat down all day. I didn't watch Netflix shows. I had a life outside of the home, and out of nowhere, I was just sitting for hours each day. Again, 30 pounds plus over the course of a year is definitely possible for people. It's just something to be aware of, and that's what I experienced. What separates a lot of other people, I'll see people in the comment section, they're like, okay, well, I just moved around, I garden, or I'm driving or working out while I'm listening to input. For me personally, I was so obsessed. I was absorbing as much as possible of the language I was consuming. I felt like I was missing out on so much if my subconscious, like the part that's supposed to be working, acquiring this language, is focused on other things. Like if I'm watering the garden with a water hose, I don't want my subconscious, while I'm making my foundation stages of this language learning, to be focused. Am I watering this mango tree enough? Do I need to water the next mango tree? Is my daughter running out of the house? I didn't want to think about any of that. And I'm a person who likes to think a lot. And if I'm doing anything, if I'm on a treadmill, if I'm trying to run or jog on the treadmill, every once in a while I'll start looking down like, okay, is my feet coming off the treadmill? Like, what's going on with the treadmill? Or even worse, okay, so if I'm at the gym, especially in the beginning stages of my language learning, the first 300 hours of comprehensible input, if I heard anything in English, my mind would immediately eavesdrop on that conversation and not on the content I was listening to. So for me, what worked best was noise canceling headphones, where I just blocked out all the noise. I just focus on the content in front of me and subconsciously just trying to absorb as much of the language as possible. People will say like, even at the level I'm at now, 800 hours, I can go and, go on a treadmill and go run. Even to this day, I was just watching a video from Riem Tai. She has an advanced video or intermediate, I forgot what it was. I played it in the background. Yes, I can understand the entire video for the most part at this point in my language learning journey, but there's a lot of stuff in there as I was working out. So I was doing, counting in my head how many reps. My attention wasn't onto the Thai language at that point. Like, there's definitely a change of absorption of the material. Yeah, I'm following along with the story, but my subconscious is also thinking about the workout that I'm doing. And even at my level now where I can understand quite a bit of Thai, I'm actually outputting Thai for the first time as well. I feel like when I'm absorbing and learning the language, it's not something I want to personally multitask. For myself, you can be a person who's, doing things and passively listening to the language. I've spoken to people like that who are like, yes, like I like to go outside, look at birds, the boats by the water, walk along the beach or whatever, downtown, and I'm just casually listening to this language. For me, I want the visual, I want everything right there. And I just feel like when people talk about what they can understand, especially once they get to native content, the people who are really obsessive about the language, the culture, and absolutely feel like I need to focus on this, those people, when we talk, they're like, oh yeah, we can listen to native content already, at a certain amount, X amount of hours, right? But there's people with the same amount of hours, they say they struggle with native content. And I feel like a part of that is because they're casually doing other things during the foundational stage of their language learning. That's my personal opinion. This is what I observe talking to other people who reach out to me, who comment, is that yes, you're learning the language, but you're very distracted. You're doing other things. It only makes sense that you're dividing your subconscious, and it's making both things weaker when you multitask like that. But again, that's what happened to me. That was my story. I gained weight because I was just super focused. Right now, I'm trying to redo my Thai input journey itself. I'm trying to experiment with working out. I do realize that while I'm working out, my focus, even as low, I understand everything in the video, but I'm not focused as much as I was just sitting down. I watched a video from Understand Thai. I watched it while I was drinking coffee before I worked out. I was sitting down at the table, noise canceling headphones, listened to it. It seemed like everything was just magical. Like, it was as if she was speaking to English to me, right? I understood everything, and I was absorbing the language about the playground, her memories when she was a kid, her sleepovers, everything, right? And then I got here, I'm working out, I understand things, but it's just kind of like, it's passive noise. I personally don't like it as much. I'm still trying to experiment with, balancing of things, what's optimum at my level. Right now, I spend a lot of time sitting down with my mother-in-law, just talking to her for about 30-45 minutes today. Talking about that, I was talking to her what she was doing in the backyard. We're talking about her redoing the flower beds. She's bored right now because there's nothing to do. She's here in South Florida, but she doesn't speak any English. So right now she's working on the flower beds, and she saw a snake, and the snake scared her. She got startled. We're talking about where the snake went. And then we're talking about, what she was cutting in the flower beds. And again, I realized I know the word for tree. This particular tree was a mango tree, the type of mango tree. Talk about the roots and stuff that she saw, like she was pulling up the roots from the old trees around the area, the leaves and stuff like that. She was bagging them, throwing them away. We understood all that. And then I got to the freaking word vine. Like, I haven't heard the word vine in any of my input, and it's not something that I've thought about. And I quickly realized that, yes, I know the word for fence, I know the word for everything else we're doing, but this hit me. I was like, wow, I don't know the word for a vine. I'm struggling trying to describe it. And she already cut them all down, so I had to go out there, pick it up. But other than that, I think communication right now is going a lot better than I thought it would be at my current hours. I think a lot of that is due to the intensity of my learning and the amount of focus I did. Some people have different recommendations, and some of them I'm trying out currently right now. One of them is something I never thought about. If you're considered about learning a language, I never thought about this, weight gain while learning a language, but it makes sense. If you're a skinny person who barely eats and you're used to sitting at a computer all day, you're probably not going to experience much weight gain because you're already sitting down all day. If you're a person who's already fat and you've been fat and because you watch TV all the time, you probably won't experience weight gain. But if you're a person who's very active and eats a lot because they're active, and then all of a sudden you sit down like me, you're going to experience weight gain. But some of the recommendations that they had, some of the commenters, was you should just get a flat treadmill that you can walk when you're watching your comprehensible input videos. This is something I never even thought about. I tried walking around outside with headphones on, but if you walk around where there's cars, you're gonna start thinking about cars. Is the car gonna hit me? Is there a car coming? And then my mind starts racing about other random things. I try to walk around, like, say, a beach area, but then I get distracted. I like to live in the moment. I want to be at the beach, enjoying it, not listening to Ty. Again, if I could just focus on one thing, I would. I personally feel like a treadmill, I'm going to be thinking about, am I going to fall off the treadmill? Am I walking correctly enough? I'm going to overthink it. That's just who I am. But if you're a type of person who could possibly just go on autopilot and just get so used to the speed of the treadmill and watch comprehensible input, it may be something to definitely don't have to worry so much about weight gain, for sure. Now, another recommendation was just trying to add another hour a day of working out. Again, I'm 40. I have a kid. I work. I try to outsource as much as possible in my life. And I just don't feel like I had an extra hour a day to give to work out. I was already waking up early, going to sleep late. And again, I don't see this working for everybody. But if you're a young kid and you can just, okay, I'm sitting down for an extra 5 or 6 hours a day, I need to burn an extra 600 calories. Maybe I can try running, every mile is basically like 100 calories, right? So maybe run 5 or 6 miles a day if you're into running to make the difference of the sitting all day. That's something you could possibly do. Just be more active to make up the difference of calories. Another one that people recommended that you may want to try, and that I brought up in my old videos, that if I had known this, I would have started just reducing my calories. Okay, I need to reduce by 600 calories a day. That could been the difference of, say, a cup of rice. That could be a difference of, already I don't usually drink my calories, but if I drink some juice, maybe avoiding juice for every single day. That would eventually make up at least some part of the difference, just trying to cut out calories as much as possible if you are an eater. Now, what I could see go very wrong with this is if you're a snacker and now all of a sudden you're spending hours snacking, don't buy snacks, because if you're watching content that's eating, you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna start snacking, and you could experience a lot of weight loss for sure, or not weight loss, weight gain. Another thing that I would recommend, if I was going to do something different, I would still be hyper focused on the language. I wouldn't do any of this I'm passively doing things and counting those hours. I would just maybe do 2 to 3 hours. Like, look, I got my 3 hours a day. This is all I need. I need to balance my life better. And that's something that could have really saved me the point where I need to lose weight. Now, again, I'm experimenting with comprehensible input, going back, readjusting, like what could I possibly do now at this level to make things better for a balance of life, of how to add this all together, because this is relatively new for me, sitting down for hours. And again, I am trying to experiment with watching videos while I work out. I don't think I would be at this level if I did this in the first 500 hours. I don't think you know enough of the language to just passively start riding your bicycle or doing things that you have to think about, cars, your next turn. I just feel like you're going to be distracting yourself from absorbing the language, but it's something that you're going to have to make an approach or deal with. And again, this is a video to anybody who's considering this or thinking about using comprehensible input and hasn't even thought about a freaking treadmill at your home while you're watching videos, because that's something I personally did not think about when I was like, okay, I'm going to start learning language. Let me invest into a treadmill. Now, I am going to probably get a treadmill here eventually. I'm going to put it right over there. I've been eyeing one that's going to come out in April, but it's something that I can definitely give a try to balance the input. But again, 2 to 3 hours a day, if that's your goal, I don't see you having too much of a problem. Even the study that I posted about, or I spoke about earlier, 1, 2, 3 hours a day, as long as you're getting your recommended amount of exercise, you're good. The problem occurs around the 6-hour mark, where something just happens in the body where you're gonna start gaining weight. A lot of people in the study just gain weight. No matter how much they exercise later, you're still going to start gaining weight. Your body does something miraculously. And I definitely experienced that as well. Now, talking about weight loss with comprehensible input, how do I say this? I just started being active again. Again, I'm not doing 6+ hours a day of comprehensible input. Again, my hours drastically reduced. I would say maybe 30 minutes, an hour a day right now. I'm not really focusing on that. Most of my hours that I'm not even tracking. So let's get back to that. I'm so focused when I learn the language, I don't even track hours that are passive to me. So if I have something just playing on in the background, I don't even track those hours. If I'm driving in the car, I'm listening to Thai music, I don't track that. If I'm driving in the car and there's a YouTube video in Thai playing, I don't track that. If I'm on Netflix, I'm watching a Thai movie or series, I haven't been tracking any of those as well. When I'm listening to my Thai wife talk in Thai, or I'm doing anything outside of YouTube that I'm not sitting down actively learning, I don't track those hours because I never thought of them as quality hours with the language. So I'm still trying to figure out what could I count as quality hours. The videos I watched today, I definitely put them in. But again, when you're multitasking, especially at the early levels, like right now I feel confident because I know the grammatical structures in my head I've acquired that I'm used to in Thai. The spoken Thai language is very easy for me to just passively understand now at 800 hours. I don't see my ability doing this for the first 500. Again, I thinking back, I've been doing a lot of reflection about my hours and my levels. I was at around 300, 400, 500. I could understand a lot because I was focused on the details and the language, but I couldn't passively just, I'm gonna watch something in English and passively listen to Thai and understand it. Every time there's something around those levels in English, my mind gravitated towards English. Now, I can definitely have my wife listening to an English series on TV and I could be listening to Thai at the same time. But again, my levels back then, I just don't see it happening. And I think most language learners using the comprehensible input method, I get a lot of people who reach out to me between, their 0 hours to say 300, but it gets so difficult. And I think those gaps they really show up right around the 400 to 500 mark, where the people who actually make it that far drastically drop off. I get tons of people who comment, yes, I'm 200 hours, I'm 50 hours, I'm 20 hours, I just started. But I don't get people who are like, yes, I'm at 700 hours. They're just gone. And I think part of that is it's very difficult. And if they're just passively listening to, because again, they reach out to me sometimes and they're like, look, I'm at 200 hours. I don't understand anything. And I can make different videos about this, but I think a part of this is, what are those 200 hours? Yes, you're riding a bike around your downtown area, you deliver Uber, and you're just casually listening to this language in the background. Those aren't quality hours. So again, it sounds like a video for a different day. But at least from this video, you got some experience from my own mistakes where I said, F that 2 to 3 hours, I'm gonna study 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't care, whatever it takes, I'm going to acquire this language. I personally gained about 30 pounds because my diet was the same, but I drastically reduced the amount of calories I was burning each day. And once you get past that 6 hour mark, you're really not going to out exercise all that sitting every single day, no matter what you do. Unless you have a lot of free time and you're running 5 or 6 miles a day, it's gonna be hard if you're a person who, eats a lot because you move a lot. You're gonna have to reduce your calories. Again, if you're already fat from sitting down, so you're not gonna change too much. So I won't be too worried about that type of person, but it's just something to be aware of right there. And if I would do anything differently, I would have focused more on, say, 2 to 3 hours and have more of a balanced life where I could maintain my current weight and still have a healthy lifestyle with Comprehensible Input. That's what they recommend on their website or on their channel. If I did that, I'd probably have a better shape than I am now, but I wouldn't be at the same level. So it has its pros and cons. There's a lot of recommendations out there: walk and treadmill, exercise more, make more hours in the day if you have them. But at the same time, if you have a time frame where you really want to accelerate this within a year, you probably want to be as focused as possible. And unless you don't eat that much, you're going to experience some type of weight gain if your calories in are the same and your calories out are not. If you haven't experienced weight gain or any other problems that you experience with Comprehensible Input, leave them in the YouTube comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video right here. Take care.